Hey guys, welcome to the first installment of the Coach's Corner. Today we're going to talk about the paw back exercise. This is something that we get asked about a lot, the special exercises that we implement here. We're going to go over the equipment necessary, the actual techniques and how we implement it. The reason we picked this one to go first is because if you go back to episode 31 of the podcast, Dr. Brian Heidersheit was talking about where most hamstring strains occur, and he discusses how it's right at and before that plant phase of running. And then we talk about this exercise and how it could be helpful with it. So just trying to tie it all together so we can give you guys just a visual idea and an understanding of what we do with it. So let's first talk about the equipment that's going to be necessary for you to use, for you to perform this exercise. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to go over the equipment necessary for us to perform these exercises. A lot of this can be bought off Dr. Yessis' website, and it's his active cord set. The initial set is going to come with some handles, some ankle straps, and a belt. And it's going to have the yellow, green, and red bands. The blue and black bands are sold separately. And it also comes with the cinch that you see right here to attach to the rack. Personally, I like these cinching ankle straps and belts. I'm pretty sure I got those off Perform Better. I like how they're snug and they allow you to kind of set exactly where you want them. Really not that expensive. If you're looking to start out, I would get one of the starter sets from Doc and then probably 2 blue bands and 3 black bands just to get started. But this is the equipment that you're going to need, and obviously something to attach them to. We just use our power racks. So just so you guys have an idea of what you need to get this stuff done. The bands are important for these. People ask if they could use like jump stretch bands or cable pulleys. The pulleys I would stay away from because remember, when you move them too fast, they become kind of weightless and then all of a sudden they catch and you're kind of asking for trouble in that situation. And when you're looking at jump stretch bands, their tension really might be too high and it's hard to just add small increments. So I would highly recommend picking up these. They're really great, and you can do a ton of stuff with them. We're going to go over a bunch of different exercises in the Coach's Corner, but first, let's talk about the paw back. So the next is just how you set up, right? And how I've always done it is we take the cinch and we put it at eye level, so you can attach there, and then you want to back it up so it's right about at a 45-degree angle. Now we can talk about how you actually do the exercise. So we've got the band attached right about eye level, so that the cords are going about 45 degrees. I've got a bench pulled back so that I'm going to be at a distance where there's constant tension on the band. You don't want the band to just lose all the tension so you can just start flopping around. You want to make sure that there's always some tension on the band when we're doing this. From there, you're going to back up. You're going to square your hips, and you're going to allow the band to lift your leg up as high as you can go. Now, some people obviously will be much higher than others, all dependent on flexibility. From here, you're going to pause, and you're going to pull through in that pawing action. So from here to here, you set, and you pull through. You're set, and you pull through. Typically, this is how we address it in the 20s. So you're going to work just on that technique without any sort of rebound. So you set up, and all we're thinking about is how I can stay tall, stay tight, and pull through with your hamstrings and your hips. Coming up, pause. Typically we say a 2 count, and then we pull through. And again, this is typically done for about 20 repetitions.